Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I got a question yesterday on a video I did about this guy named Tai Lopez. And I thought about, I don't know, should I really address this question? Basically, it's what I think of him. And if you're not familiar with Tai Lopez, he's this dude that basically, he's been doing a lot of YouTube videos and will advertisements in YouTube videos. You might have seen an ad before a YouTube video played where he's basically like in his garage with this Lamborghini and he's giving you some advice and telling you about how he got rich essentially and how you could get rich as well. And he actually did a TED talk about reading books essentially on reading fast and how he reads books and kind of his story. And he's a very interesting character, right? He's done some videos where he's like in a Lamborghini and he goes and buys a copy of How to Win Friends and Influence People, and he's got this like this model in the car with him, and and he shows his like mansion and stuff in a video. So he's very much promising, or he's trying to come across. It's almost like a beer commercial, like his message. So, and he's almost like, trying to promise you that you're going to have these things or give you the key to success. And so, at first glance, here's the thing about this guy. And I'm going to say this, right? Okay, I don't know Tai Lopez, right? I don't know him. I can't say a lot. I know some people that do actually know him, right? But I haven't really talked to them about him that much. I've heard various things, right? So here's the thing. So we can't really know 100% what he's about, right? Unless you really know him well. Obviously he's doing some advertising, right? And his advertising is effective. And I'll tell you why I know it's effective. Because one, I'm doing a video talking about him. I've seen other people do videos talking about him. Everywhere I go in the entrepreneurship circle, his name comes up a lot, right? People want to know. There's this intrigue, this mystery that he's created, right? Some people are calling him a scammer. Some people are saying he's wonderful, right? He's obviously selling something. I think he's selling like a digital product, and he's got this like 67 steps or something to formula to success. I haven't gone through his material. I would actually like to buy his material and go through it just to see. But here's the thing, like, okay, from my just opinion of the videos I've seen of what he's doing and what he's promoting, he's giving people a lot of good free advice, right? I mean, the stuff that he's saying it's not incorrect advice. Now, you may not get the results. Like so there might be a gap here between what he is sort of portraying and the results that you could expect, that most people could expect. But there also might not be, right? I mean, because the thing is, like, most people do not go all out, right? But the kind of like success secrets that he's giving you when he's giving out this free advice, they're pretty valuable, right? They're the stuff that can get you to the level, of becoming a multimillionaire. I mean, these are the things that. This is nothing new, right? He's just kind of bringing it to the masses. A lot of the books that he's recommending, a lot of the strategies he's talking about, and the mindset, the way that you think, are things that I've talked about here. I've talked about in my blog that are not my original ideas, that are not his original ideas. These are things that come from really great books, from people who have been extremely successful, right? When you look at some of the books he recommends, like I said in that video, How to Win Friends and Influence People, that's an awesome book, right? This is a lot of people, successful people I talk to, that's like one of their number one books, right? I mean, it's my number one book. And also, like, these are, he's giving you strategies that have been passed on, through time, right? As the internet, as we have more connections to more millionaires and billionaires, we're learning more of these things, like it's becoming more commonplace. But, so this is what I have to say, right? I'm not going to personally attack the dude. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know him personally. But I do know a couple of things, right? A few things here. So one of the things that I know about him is that he's doing something with his life, right? He's not just sitting there critiquing people and worrying about if they're a scammer or not. He's actually producing something. He's building a business. Whether you believe, all the stuff that he says or not, it doesn't matter. He's actually doing something. I mean, you're watching his YouTube commercials, right? I'm talking about him on a video. Other people are doing the same. So he is actually doing something and building a business. So that's number one. I know that, and I know that a lot of you that are listening, a lot of you that kind of critique him or wondering about him, you're not. To be honest, let's be totally honest. He's doing some pretty crazy, amazing things, right? Number two, he's marketing effectively. Whether you like his marketing or not, right? Whether you think it's scammy or not, he's getting his message out. And it's going wide, right? He's suddenly just exploded all over the place within like the last year or so. So whether you like his kind of beer commercial type of messaging, where it's kind of promising riches and hot girls and all this or not, that is sort of beside the point, right? The point is that it is working, so to some degree. So you can't really knock that. And it's making the intrigue part is really what's going for him the most, is people don't know. Like it's kind of good for him, for people to wonder about this guy, right? Because when you wonder about him, you talk about him, his word spread. So I think that's intentional. I think he's a really smart dude. Like he couldn't say the things that he's saying if he wasn't really smart, right? And that's the third thing that I know, is that he is smart and he's giving good advice to people. Like he's not telling you how to get rich quick. He's not trying to sell you some scam. Yes, he's selling a product at the end, but I would guess that it's probably worth the money because this guy has a lot of knowledge. He has read a lot of books. You can tell by what he says that he has, and he is giving valid principles. Even his free stuff, his free content has value. Now, his approach, like I said, it might be, I tend to border, like as far as the marketing approach, right? I tend to be a little bit towards the Tai Lopez side, right? I tend to be a little bit aggressive, and some people don't like me. Some people call me spammy and say, "Oh, you got pop-ups on your site," and all of this stuff. But I try to give good value to people for free. I have this thing I say, I give away 90% of what I produce, and I charge for 10% of it. And it seems like he's doing something similar to that. So anyway, I don't know the guy. He could be a total, he could have, this could all be an illusion. He could have rented those cars and not really live in that house and all that, and that could be fake. But one thing that's really important, I think this is, to bring this back to software development and to you out there that are listening to this, one thing that's really important to do in life is to be able to, what they call, eat the meat and spit out the bones, right? So just because someone is got a mixed message doesn't mean you should ignore all of their message, right? There's going to be good stuff. I read tons of books that there's a lot of hooky crap in there, right? That's like, okay, wow, where'd you come up with that? But there's also a lot of good stuff in there, right? Because people aren't perfect. People don't write perfect books. If you read my book, hell, if you read Soft Skills, you'd probably be like, man, John, some of this stuff is like, yeah, I don't even agree with it at all. But some of it, you might say, wow, that's awesome. This applies. And so that's what you really have to be able to do. And when you just 100% subscribe to what someone says and believe everything they say, and you're just like, worship them, and you don't use your own brain, that's a problem. And when you reject someone because they say the smallest thing that you disagree with, or that's also a problem. What you got to really learn to do in life is to sift out the gold, right? Like a miner, like a panning for gold, right? They're sifting and trying to leave the gold in there, and that's what you got to really develop this ability to do. Because once you do that, then there's a lot more gold around. There's a lot more gold mines. So anyway, that's what I would advise you with Tai. Hey, if you really are interested, if you're really like, man, is this guy legitimate? Is he giving me good information? What's the deal? Then go buy his stuff. Go try it out. I mean, if he's an internet marketer, I haven't looked at this thing, but I guarantee it's going to come with at least like a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's pretty standard, right? Most people, if they don't have that, then you might start to wonder what's going on here. But most people would do that. So go buy his stuff. Go check it out and see if it helps you, but apply it, right? Actually use this stuff. The same thing with what I'm selling. You know, I sell my How to Market Yourself as a Software Developer. I sell my 10 Steps to Learn Anything Quickly course, you know, my Pluralsight courses, my book, all this stuff. It doesn't help if you don't apply it. So anyway, you know, that's it. I'm probably not going to bring up this Tai Lopez subject again unless I actually interview him on here, which I doubt would happen. But if he's listening, I invite you. I gladly, you know. But anyway, listen. Don't waste your time like worrying about what other people are doing. Worry about what you're doing. Okay, and if you can learn from people, regardless of what you think about them, learn from them. Take every advantage that you can. But, you know, before you criticize someone else, and I know there's a lot of people that criticize this dude, think about your own life and what are you doing and how you're wasting your time if you're criticizing someone else. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. If you like this video, if you like this channel, definitely subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.